My grasshopper friend tells me that he asked you to guess the largest group of insects on Earth. Did anybody guess flies? Perhaps you guessed ants. Both ants and flies are good guesses. You may have noticed flies and ants more often than you do enormous groups of insects to which I belong. Do you remember seeing a picture of me in the first lesson about insects? Who remembers my name? Yep, I'm a ladybug. Did you know that ladybugs are beetles? Fireflies are beetles too. Beetles make up about 2/3 of all insects on our planet. There are over 400,000 kinds of beetles. By the end of the day, you will know a lot about these amazing diverse insects. They come in all shapes and sizes. Beetles include fireflies, weevils, whirlgigs, and rhinoceros beetles. You already know what makes an insect, so what makes a beetle a beetle? First of all, because beetles are insects, we share the same characteristics of all insects. We have a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. We have antennae, 6 legs, a hard exoskeleton, and wings. Most beetles undergo a complete metamorphosis. What else do beetles have in common? Beetles stand out in the insect world because of our heavy armor or protective covering. In addition to our exoskeletons, our wings provide protection. Most beetles have 2 pairs of wings, but our front wings are not really wings at all. These thick, hard protective coverings are called elytra. When we're resting, we tuck our delicate back wings under our elytra, or front wings, so that we or you cannot see them at all. Then, when we are ready to fly, we unlock our elytra and unfold our long, thin back wings. Our elytra provide lift like the wings of an airplane, but they remain quite still as our back wings beat up and down against the flight. Scientists believe one reason insects have survived or continue to live in such huge numbers on Earth is because we can fly. But beetles are not the fastest flyers in the insect world. In fact, some ground beetles do not fly at all. Surely one big reason for our survival is the hard outer wing cases that set us apart from other insects. Being tough, we're able to burrow down under stones and logs into very narrow places where we remain hidden, protected from predators. It's hard to crush or bite a beetle. We clever beetles have many means of protection. For instance, look at the bombardier beetle. This ground-living beetle produces chemicals in its abdomen. When attacked by a predator, the chemicals combine to form a bad-smelling, boiling liquid. The bombardier beetle makes a great popping sound as it sprays the enemies with the chemicals, sometimes causing a bad burn to the other insect or pain to people. Mimicry, or animal look-like, is another way beetles protect themselves. Look at this beetle. What does it look like? It is called a wasp beetle because of its long yellow and black body mimics or copies that of a wasp. How do you think this keeps predators away from the wasp beetle? Of course, they're afraid of being stung. Another reason for the large number of beetles is in fact that different species adapt or change over very long periods of time to suit their environments. Beetles live in some of the most difficult places on Earth, some surviving in the intense heat of the desert and others in underwater habitats where they have to develop ways of breathing underwater. Many desert beetles are wingless and live beneath the sand where it's cooler and less dry. Some, like these Nambian desert beetles, have stilt-like legs allowing them to rise above the hot sand. Still others have developed arched elytra, creating tiny air pockets to help them protect them from the heat. Because insects need air to live, water beetles must come to the surface to get oxygen they need to breathe. Some water beetles, like this diving bug, have developed a trick of carrying oxygen bubbles underwater trapped just beneath their elytra. This whirlgig beetle solves the oxygen problem by staying mostly under the surface of ponds and streams, using its paddle-shaped legs to spin and turn. Its eyes, divided into 2 parts, can see above and below the surface of water at the same time. Beetles have adapted over the years to eating different plants and animal foods as well. With their strong chewing mouthparts, nearly every possible food source is used by some kind of beetle. Weevils, like this boll weevil, are thought to be some of the peskiest of all beetles. Their long snouts enable them to bore down into the seed pods of the plant. Boll weevils have destroyed many fields of cotton, laying eggs in the holes they make. When the eggs hatch, the larvae eat the plants from inside out. Some beetles feed on grains and seeds. Others chomp on apples, cherries, and fruits. Still, others live on wood and decaying plant life. Carrion beetles and their larvae feed on dead animals. Dung beetles are named for the food that they eat. Dung is manure, the solid waste of animals. Dung is very rich in nutrients and an ideal way for young dung beetles, an ideal food for young dung beetles. Adult dung beetles compete to get some of the dung. They roll up the dung into balls and push them away from other beetles. They bury the balls in the ground and lay eggs in them. When the eggs hatch, the larvae feed on the dung. Tiger beetles are fierce predators, chasing down almost any prey they can find, including insects. Their fast legs and strong jaws make their job easy. Tiger beetles are the fastest runners in the insect world. Even the larvae of tiger beetles are predators who eat other insects. The larvae inside burrows, popping partway out and snatching passing insects with their jaws. This stag beetle, which you might have seen before, with horns like antlers of a stag or a mule deer, look rather fierce, but it is among the most harmless of all insects and eats mostly tree sap and other solid liquids. Its horns are actually its jaws. Male stag beetles use these jaws to wrestle with each other and others for females. Horned beetles like this rhinoceros beetle include some of the most largest beetles in the world. Some of these beetles are also called Hercules beetles due to their great strength. One of the largest and heaviest of all insects is the male Goliath beetle of Africa. Goliath can grow to be more than 5 inches long and weigh about as much as 2 golf balls. Their heavy bodies make them poor flyers, but they are able to climb trees with ease using their strong legs and good claws. Aren't beetles amazing? All insects, from those with eardrums on their abdomens to those that make their own honey to those that glow in the dark, are truly amazing. Many insects are so small you may forget they are living around you in these trees, underground, even in your houses. It's true that some insects can be a real nuisance, but many insects like me are extremely helpful. Next time you will learn how important insects are to your everyday lives. Thank you, and if you have any questions, make sure you contact me, Ms. Benson or Ms. Madison. Thank you.